Guys, welcome back to Pharaoh Iron & Customs. I'm Michael, and today, since we haven't done any forging videos for the entire month of February, I'm going to take a railroad spike and make a spike knife. You may have seen me do this before, but we're going to do it again because I want to make a forging video in February. Today's kind of my fun day Sunday. We're going to get into it. Guys, while the forge is coming up to temperature, I'm going to be using two hammers today. This is just a beater hammer. Basically, it's the hammer I would use to do anything in the shop with. You can see the faces of it look absolutely horrible. It's a cheap hammer from Harbor Freight, and I think unless it proves otherwise, and I do need to clean the face on this, is I'm using this dog-headed hammer that was made for me by Whiskey Turtle Forge. This is his 92nd hammer that he made. So also I'll be using two chisels. I'll be using a 4-inch chisel and a 1-inch chisel. I'm going to be making a pineapple twist. Guys, I got that too hot. I should have paid attention to what I was doing. That's super upsetting. I hated I messed that spike up. That was a really nice looking spike. Alright guys, on our first heat here, and I know you can't see that the heat is getting away from us. I'm going to, I need to bring that closer, take and split the middle on one edge of the spike and mark it. And this is just to give me a mark. And you have to turn the spike, and we're losing the heat fast. It sure ain't as hot as that other one was. And like I said, all I'm doing right now is drawing a line and giving myself a reference mark. And I'll come back with the 1-inch chisel and make that line deeper. Alright guys, it's easier for me to see with the door shut, which is unfortunate for me because it means it's going to be hot in here. But now I'm just following my line that I made with the 1-inch chisel and cutting that deeper. So on this you want to take as many heats as you need, but I try to get as much done in a heat as possible. So if we don't want to hit our hand, it's already losing the heat. You can see it going to a red temperature. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but it's going to a cooler heat right here at the end. So we're going to put it in the fire for another heat. I'll get that done and we'll come back. Alright guys, I've got the other two sides done and I've gone back in heat. On this part you want to make sure you keep a nice heat for. What I'm going to do here is just choke up on the area where my marks are. And you got to be kind of quick about this because you lose the heat and then you run the risk of twisting the steel. And I may have to go back in the fire on this. All I'm using is an adjustable wrench, and we're going to go a whole turn. Yep, I'm going to go back in the fire. I don't have enough heat in there. So we've been half a turn, and we're going to go another half. There we go. Alright, now we got our turn tight. Going back in the fire to get it hot again. Guys, it's been a minute or two since I've done one of these, so I'm trying to remember exactly how to do it. Alright, I really think you're supposed to flatten them. I think you're supposed to flatten them. Yep. I need a better pair of tongs. I'll grab my other tongs in a second. If this don't turn out, this is my fault. Yeah, I got to get that other pair of tongs. You got to keep in control of your steel while you're doing these kind of things. Grab my other tongs. We can work this a little cooler than we did when we twisted it. So all we're doing is bringing it back to a square shape. If you were going to do a twist, that would be where you would stop. You would stop right there and you'd have you a nice twist. All right, going back in the fire. All right, guys, we're going to go right back and cut another line down the center of the handle area of the knife. I got a little off on that one. Like I said, I just used the 4-inch chisel to get my mark. Alright, good on that. Don't touch the red hot steel. That's not fun. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Oops. The quicker you start getting, the more you have the steel heated, the longer it stays hot between heats once you get the heat in it. Yep, I'm off on that line. Alright, we're going back in the fire and letting the heat back up. Okay, we got those cut in and we're coming back to our vise. We're grabbing the spike right where we grabbed it before, and this time we're going back half a turn the opposite direction, which is going to be, in this case, anti-clockwise. And while it's still hot, we're going to try. That's pretty close. I'm liking that. Yep, I did it right, guys. It's been a damn long time. I'm glad I remembered to flatten those sides. Oop, that burned the camera cord, guys. I'm going to give it a quick brushing. From this point, it doesn't matter how cold the handle gets because we're done with the handle. What did I do? It's right here. I need to make a different set of tongs. The first set's too big. This one's a little too small. That looks really nice. See if I can see that on the camera. Ain't that beautiful? I love that. That is so cool. You can do that anything. You can use a torch to heat it and make that same pattern. You can use this for a shifter handle, any kind of handle in your car. Handles on tools you make for the shop. I love it, man. I love it. Okay, so grabbing it the other way to make the knife blade. It's going to be a little easier. I have a set of railroad spike tongs from Ken's Custom Iron that fits right over the spike head like that. We'll put it in the fire. When we come back, we're going to start making a blade. Okay, we're going to give it a quick brush. Brush just gets the oxidation caused by heating the steel, and my fire is way too hot. I need a different fan. And we're going to start stretching the metal out. A couple lengths to do that. I am using a hammer that I rounded the face on to make myself a rounder. I'm going to pull it a little off. Alright, that's another thing. When the steel starts getting too hard to move, go back for another heat. Alright guys, gotta do something about that. fire. And it's definitely got too much heat. Too much air blowing through it. Try not to get the tip to turn off at a weird angle. Like I said, I'm just using a 4-pounder right now to move as much metal as fast as I can. We'll worry about getting it straight whenever we get further along. Kind of keep an eye on what your shape is as you're going. It's easier to fix it before you get too far along. Alright guys, before we get too thin, I'm just going ahead and define the ricasso area here over the horn, or what would be the horn if this was a real anvil. And you see that our knife is starting to take a shape of a knife. On. Another thing, like I said, as soon as your knife starts getting thinner, it starts taking, it takes a heat quicker and it runs out of a heat quicker. Alright guys, we're going to keep drawing it out. I'm going to start down here where it's coolest to begin with and work towards the end. Heat at that, and sometimes if you watch it, and it was doing it right there for a second, if you hit a hot piece of steel, it will, you can watch the heat in it go from a red or orange red color to a yellow color, or from red up to orange or whatever, and gain a heat just from working it. And that's just the pressure of the steel being hammered into itself. Okay guys, back at it again with another heat. I hit the handle a couple of times. Right now we're just trying to refine the shape of the knife. Go ahead and the railroad spike's already got a point on it, so you really don't have to worry too much about the point of the knife. I want to slim that down just a little bit more right here in the ricasso area. So we're going to take another heat. I may come back in a couple of heats. Okay guys, and I'm taking, this is the second heat since the camera's been on. I'm switching back to my dog-faced hammer, and I'm going to start forming the primary bevel, and you can see the heat starts getting out of the steel quickly. Like I said, the thinner it gets, the quicker it comes out. I'm going to take another heat. Actually, I'm going to take a break, take another heat, and I'm coming back. Alright guys, I've gone back for one more heat, and I'm going to just reshape the handle of this knife just a little bit over the horn of the anvil. I want to give it a little bit of a, yeah. Might want to do the blade a little bit. May have to reheat the blade. Nah, I'm good with that actually. It's a little different. So we're going to check it, make sure everything looks straight. Just bend the blade. Alright guys, we're going to leave this knife rough because that's the way I have started to like making my knives, is leaving them rough, because A, I don't like to spend hours and hours polishing them. There's guys out there that spend hours and hours polishing knives. I do not. Alright, it ain't perfect. Alright, I need something to do the quench, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm trying to have it where you can see the whole process here. A railroad spike is about 0.2% carbon. It's not really great knife steel. Actually, it's probably would not even be good to make a hammer out of. What we're trying to do, don't want to get the tip too high. Bring it up to the point where a magnet no longer sticks to it. And we're just going to quench it in water. If it was higher than 0.4 or 0.6, you would probably want to think about, and I'm just checking to make sure the knife blade is still straight. Matter of fact, we still have some heat in the panel on it. I'm just going to let it go too. Hey, that's better. Now y'all can see. Okay, I think I'm going to try to record what I just said over again. Hey guys, wow, what a day, man. There it is. So now all we need to do is put an edge on it, go to the belt grinder, put an edge on it. I'm going to leave it a rough finish like that because that's kind of the way I like to do things nowadays. I used to polish knives to a high polish like a mirror shine, and it takes hours and hours and hours and hours, and you know, that's not really the fun part to me. So and that's also the reason why I really don't make knives for people. So I was gonna say this thing, the handle's a little wonked on it. If you look down, it's a little, but it's actually not that bad. It's it could have turned this way a little bit, but I think the thing I wanted to explain is you know, that right there, guys, with a little bit more time and care put in it than I put in it making this video, y'all can make a really nice shifter handle or a really nice, I don't know, anything, forks for a chopper, handlebars for a chopper, maybe not forks for a chopper, that might be a bad idea, but you know, that right there, it's not about making the knives, it's about what you can make, what you can learn to make. Anyway, so like I said, I don't think I'm going to finish this. I may put an edge on it, put it up for sale on Facebook or something. But like I said, I'm not really in the position to make knives now. I'm trying to get this car done. Today I just wanted to do a fun video. I didn't really feel like messing with the car after yesterday. I spent the whole day messing with the boot lid. We have 3 more days left in, no, we have 4 more days after today left in February. Of course, this will be on the 28th. This video will be on the 28th. So I'm going to take Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and try to finish that boot lid on the Volkswagen. So anyway, like and leave a comment down below. Like I said, anyway, so it is what it is. That's how you make a railroad spike knife, with the exception of grinding it. I was also going to mention that I think I said just quench in water. You don't need to quench this in oil because it doesn't have enough carbon content to get hard in oil. Some people will say that it will not get hard. I have watched videos where I used to watch Chandler Dickinson, and sadly I don't think he's posted anything to his channel in a really long time. He was one of the smiths that I really looked up to when I first started learning how to do this stuff. He actually did a video where he took a piece of square 3/4 or 5/8, whatever size this is, piece of square stock mild steel, made a knife out of it, and made a knife out of a railroad spike, hardened both of them the exact same way, made them the same shape, sharpened them, and drove the railroad spike, cut the blade of the mild steel with the railroad spike. So it will get hard. It just will not be a great knife. It will never be a great knife unless you put a piece of 1095 down the center of it or something. But guys, that's it. Like I said, tomorrow hopefully he's going to be finishing up that Volkswagen, and I'm already looking into ordering the back windows for the split oval. Glass Action has that kit. I want to say that it used to be like $119 and now it's like $169, so I should have bought that stuff years ago. But I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and order that. And at some point in the next month or so, I want to build a split on this car. In March, I have got to start getting Valerie's car zipped up. That project has gone on way too long, and for new viewers of the channel, that's the 03 Mazda Protege 5 that we repainted, but we stripped it completely down. You'll see the hood that came off of the car in the background sometime. It's right over there. We both decided to keep the hood, but the whole car was painted like that at one point. It had the Japanese Rising Sun ripping out of the back of the car, and you know, the blue and the I think it's something fire mist. I can't remember what color black it is, but it has got a ton of flake in it and a ton of purple pearl, and you know, we had a great time painting that. But we painted a car about 10 years ago, and now we're repainting it because she just wants it to, you know, not draw so much attention. So that's it. I'll see y'all tomorrow.